Hello guppies, welcome back to the fishbowl. So this is the video I talked about in my Slenderman review which by the way, is a good book. You should check it out if you like Slenderman. But I wanted to do the birthday haul. So here is they're all falling. Here is my birthday haul. As you can see, I've got Slenderman on top there, followed by The Winter People, The Haunting of Ashburn House, The Terror, and a few others. And I'm gonna just kind of go over them. They're all on my TBR list. But I already reviewed the Slenderman. So if you're interested in hearing anything about that, it's not what I expected from a book about the Slenderman, not at all. It was that fun kind of old, mysterious being, kind of no explanations are given to you story, which I did. Perfect. It's like reading an old creepypasta back when they were fresh and new. And then the second book that I have here is called The Winter People by Jennifer McHorn. Probably said that wrong. And I've kind of already started it, but I'm having a bit of book ADD in that The Winter People is a super interesting sounding book about these two families, one in the past and one in the present. The people in the present, their mother has gone missing, and the two sisters are trying to find her. And then in the past, there's this couple who's had fertility issues for years that are finally able to have a child, but tragedy strikes and takes their little one from them. So they try to bring her back in an interesting way, and I'm still getting into that, so I'll let you know what I think about that in its own review when it comes out. The next book that I have is called The Haunting of Ashburn House. This one I don't know too much about, honestly, but everyone knows about the Ashburn House. They whisper that its owner went mad and restless ghosts still walk the halls. But when Adrienne, desperate in need of a place to stay, inherits the crumbling old mansion, she only sees it as a lifeline until darkness falls. And I love me a good haunted house story, so I had to pick it up. I saw it, and it's another one of those, like, you see it like this, and then this is the cover you get. Like, this is beautiful. So it's another one of those that I definitely grabbed for my birthday haul. And this one, I actually wasn't too sold on at first. The Terror by Dan Simmons. Now, I haven't read anything by Dan Simmons that I can think of, but this is a historical horror about a ship called the Terror and the crew on it that ended up basically being massacred. But the men on board the HMS Terror, part of 1845 Franklin expedition, the first steam-powered vessel ever to search for the legendary Northwest Passage, are entering a second summer in the Arctic Circle without a thaw, stranded in a nightmarish landscape of encroaching ice and darkness, endlessly cold. They struggle to survive with poisonous rations, a dwindling coal supply, and the ship's buckling in the grip of the crushing ice. But their real enemy is even more terrifying. There is something out there in the frigid darkness, an unseen predator stalking their ship, a monstrous terror clawing to get in. Now, if that doesn't hook you in, I don't know what will, because I love me a good boat horror, which there's actually another one on this haul that I'll actually go ahead and get to. Now, the other one that I'm reading is called The Deep by Alma Katsu, and so far I've been really enjoying it. It's about this young girl, Annie, who survived the she survived the sinking of the RMS Titanic and is now working as a nurse on the sister ship, the Britannic, and it follows her story through the events of the Titanic and the goings on the ship, and then the tragedy of both of them that she unfortunately experiences. And also by Alma Katsu that I've got on the haul is The Hunger, which is about the Donner Party. And I don't really know anything about this book other than it is a horror story about the famous tragedy of the Donner Party and everything that went wrong with them, and it kind of takes that and throws this supernatural twist onto it. So I'm really excited to start reading this one when I get around to it. The next book on my list is one that I have seen recommended literally everywhere. Like almost every single person who's ever reviewed this book, every book YouTuber that I've seen has reviewed this book, and I'm really looking forward to reading it myself, and that is The Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware. Now, The Turn of the Key is, I can't even describe it so far. I just started it. Also, it's part of the book ADD turnaround, the 3-ring circus. It is about a nanny who will, I won't spoil anything super big here, but it's about a nanny who is charged with watching over these 2 children, and tragically one of the children dies. And so it is her, there's evil down here. But it's a story about her trying to prove that she's not the one who tragically caused the death of one of the children. And it just looks like a really interesting read. Now, another book that I have that's in my TBRs is called Kill Creek, which I've heard a lot of good things about Kill Creek also, that I love me a spooky haunted house. So it was supposed to be a simple publicity stunt, 4 famous horror authors spending the night in one of the world's most notoriously haunted house. And it just sounds so interesting to me. Like, it's such a basic little premise, but it's like, those are the ones that really get you, you know? So there's that on my TBR. And then another book that I picked up, this one I actually picked up for a cover read. So it's called The Children of Red Peak, and I personally think that this cover is just absolutely gorgeous. And then it's gorgeous on the side too, so when you put that in with the rest of your books, it's gonna look really nice. And the back has this little nice touch. I love the upside down forest. So, but this book is about 5 children who were part of a cult called the Family, and the horrific events that happened in the last days of the family. There were 5 children, now there are 4, and they're all grown up, and it kind of follows the trauma from being in that cult situation and how it shaped their lives up until today, and then them having to come to terms with what actually happened that night, because they don't know if it's something they hallucinated or if it actually happened, and who knows. For me, I'm really excited to find out what goes on. But the next, second to last book that I have on my birthday haul is called Crato, and it is a Native American horror story that Sheriff Skip Harding is investigating a double murder that has taken the quiet town of Logan, Missouri. A slaughter that seems too brutal for a human perpetrator. A bear? Maybe. But there are no bears in the area. Bodies begin to pile up, and Skip soon discovers the bullets are useless against his foe. Only with the help of the Cherokee game warden, J. Little Hawk, and the wisdom of Lakota medicine man, Georgia Strong Eagle, can Skip hope to stop the monster before it's too late. A tale blending elements of mystery, suspense, and Native American mythology. And it's been listed as the suspense of Clive Barker and Dean Koontz. So I couldn't pass this up. Also, this gives me big werewolf vibes, which just, I love the cover. Mwah, perfect. And the last book I have on the list here is a book that, I no joke, I saw it in the store. My husband pointed it out and was like, hey, Goldfish, you should pick this book up. I think it looks neat. And I went, looks like a thriller. I'm not really looking for a thriller right now. I want more horror. And I walked away from it like a fool. Well, when I went to do my review on the Slenderman book, I noticed that it was listed as folk horror. Right underneath, oh, you like the Slenderman? Then you'll like this book. And I was so fascinated by that I went back to Target and I bought it. And it's called The Whisper Man. Now, The Whisper Man, even if it is just a thriller at this point, it kind of caught me with, I'll read the inside of it here, because it's about a man and his young son who have lost their mother and they're wanting to start over in a new town. But this town years ago had a man who would he kidnapped 5 residents and killed them. And his telltale calling sign was whispering through the windows to them. Hence his name, the Whisper Man. Well, that man has been arrested and is in jail. And, you know, there's nothing he can do to continue on. But the young son of the protagonist in this book has started to hear whispering outside his window. And so it's the Whisper Man either come back or a copycat of some sort. And I just thought all of those books look super interesting. Super stoked to read all of them. I plan on doing reviews in between each one that I read if I can finish one at a time. With my book ADD, I tend to read 3 books at a time and then just boop, boop, boop. But the Slender Man one was super nice. It was like a day read and done. So we have a stowaway leaving the area. So, and I guess that's it for now. I'm gonna do a second haul when I have another book haul coming up that I'm actually pretty excited about. It'll be next Friday is when I'll be ordering those books, and then when they all come in, I'll putting that up. But if you like this video, definitely give it a like. Let me know what I can do to make it better, you know, down there in the comments. Let me know if there's any books that you're interested in or that you think would be fun to read. I'm always looking for new horror recommendations. I'm always looking for new werewolf books specifically. I'm so thirsty for me some good werewolf horror. Please, God, if you have any. But if you guys have even read any of these books in this haul, definitely let me know what you think. All right. Well, thank you so much for swimming by. Have a safe day.